from New Hanover County Schools Television, powered by students. This is your school news.
Welcome to your school news. I'm Johanna Carey. Topping our news. The New Hanover County Board of Education holds their monthly meeting for October. NOAA visits C-Tech for Accelerating Lunch and Learn. And New Hanover County Schools introduces its first podcast. Our top story this week, the New Hanover County Board of Education held their regular monthly meeting on Tuesday, October 1st, at the Board of Education Center. With the board notes is YSN reporter Johan Yellow.
The Board of Education meeting featured a mix of informational reports, old and new business, and an in-depth look at the school system's testing results. Let's get right to the board notes. Under recognition of achievement, there was a community partnership presentation with the Vocational Rehabilitation Services. They highlighted their work with the school system over the years. That was followed by a school spotlight video for C-Tech High School produced by the students at the school. There were also several awards recognized, including the National PTA School of Excellence, Ecology Project International Fellowship recipient, National Security Language Initiative for Youth Scholarship recipient, Outstanding Cadet Award, Girl Scout Gold Award, National NAACP AXO, and the Professional Educators of North Carolina Youth Art. Board member Nelson Bellier then gave a Head Start Liaison report, expenditure report, and went over the non-federal share in-kind report. Several reports were given under information. Policy Committee Chairwoman Jeanette Nichols gave an overview of proposed changes to Policy 5400, naming facilities, and Policy 6431, drug testing. The changes to Policy 7440, student promotion, were discussed and approved. The board then received a detailed report on the annual NHCS accountability data. This was a look at how the 2018-19 testing scores compared over time and with the state scores. Under committee report, each of the board committees gave an update on their meeting and their meeting schedules. Under consensus items, John Welmers presented personnel recommendations. Old business included a look at the 2019-2020 calendars for information only. Also under old business was a budget resolution and local salary schedules were passed. There were 3 items for discussion under new business: budget amendments, surplus, and the 2019-20 low-performing school plans. The next regular Board of Education meeting will be held Tuesday, November 5th at 5:30 p.m. at the Board of Education Center, 1805 South 13th Street. As always, if you cannot attend the meeting in person, you can watch them live right here on NHCS TV, along with the rebroadcast. That's your board notes for October.
Recently, Southeast Area Technical High School students gathered in their school's College and Career Center during a thunderous lunch to learn about the electrifying field of meteorology. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, sent a representative to talk to students about their program. NOAA's responsibility is to focus on the atmosphere, waterways, and of course the conditions of the oceans. The NOAA representatives taught students on a variety of exhilarating topics, such as natural disasters, jobs, and the atmosphere, as well as how weather affects transportation. They are also responsible for the National Weather Service and how regions get support after a catastrophe. One fun topic the students enjoyed was a discussion on the thunderous possibility of a Sharknado, which unsurprisingly was likely no. Finally, the Lunch and Learn was extended with a Q&A and a short discussion on Tropical Storm Karen and its position in the Atlantic. It was a great opportunity for students looking into science and math pathways and to learn more about the many opportunities in meteorology. In fact, C-Tech's Lunch and Learns open many doors of opportunities for students. They are a weekly program which teaches students about a variety of pathways, from Border Patrol to marketing to veterinary, and are led by an expert in that field. Through the Lunch and Learn series, C-Tech students are exposed to a variety of jobs and potential careers. New Hanover County Schools has been named as an accomplished district by the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards. The National Board recently unveiled a program that recognizes school districts across the county that work hard to promote student learning through accomplished teaching. The National Board Accomplished Districts program will initially honor 81 districts in which at least 20% of its teachers have achieved national board certification, encouraging teachers to be their best and effectively driving student learning. Districts will be recognized with an award for the district office and the unique celebrations for the NBCTs in those districts. New Hanover County Schools will unveil a banner and recognize educators who achieved or renewed national board certification at the Board of Education meeting on February 4th, 2020. Our next story comes from the broadcast team at Ogden Elementary. The Stingray News Network. Students at the school have been learning about apples in some unique ways. We get all the details from Olivia and Pittman.
Stingray Studios, please take you on a visit to Miss Cockrell's classroom.
These students have been learning about science and apples. Students in Miss Cockrell's class and Miss Shiflett's first grade class explored science in different ways, with apples to celebrate the start of fall. Here are some of the experiments that we did. Erupting apple volcanoes. Students discussed what volcanoes are and why they erupt. We experimented to see what happens when you mix baking soda inside an apple. We discussed how the apple is based of a structure and it is actually the mixture inside that causes the eruption. Why do apples turn brown? Students explored how the apple is cut, that the inside is exposed to air, dries out and turns brown, but if you use certain liquids to keep the moisture in, the apple will not brown. We discovered that lemon juice worked better than water.
Looks like they had a blast while learning.
The NHCS Public Relations Division has released its first podcast, Learn, Lead, and Listen, with Ryan Redd and Peter Hunt. The podcast series, titled NHCS Podcasts, Voices of the District will present a new podcast each month, featuring district teachers, administrators, and staff. The podcast offers another communication vehicle for NHCS to stay connected and to communicate with the community. Chief Communications Officer Valita Quattlebaum stated, "With so many different methods of reaching the public, it is important as a district that we utilize all means. Communication is key to having an efficient and productive school system, and we want to make sure we are all communicating with the community on all platforms." A new podcast will be released each month. On October 28th, District Equity Work Group with Deputy Superintendent Dr. LaShawn Smith, Miss Al O'Brien, and Miss Frances Williams will be released. You can listen to the podcasts from the story on our webpage at nhcs.net. Carolina Beach Elementary School 5th graders have an amazing outdoor adventure when they traveled by bus, boat, and on foot to Masonboro Island. The focus of the trip was to teach students about animal habitats, the environment, and coastal conservations. Students were excited to travel by the boat to the island. For many of them, it was their first boat ride, and the lesson began en route. Tour guides talked about the different sea birds that live on the island and how they survive. On the island, students explored the marsh, finding crabs and fish with nets. They walked to the ocean side and explored the beach. The trip was all part of the Island Explorers program, and every student received a red t-shirt. It was an outstanding hands-on learning experience that the 5th graders will remember for the rest of their lives. You're watching Your School News on cable and online. Check out the show on Spectrum Channel 5 and online. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break.